Alright, welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution. In this video, we're going to do something a little bit different, alright? So I am in my Isla Nublar sand pit that's part of the campaign, and I've been slowly building things and getting things to where I'd like it slowly, and just experimenting a little bit. But what I wanted to go through is one of the items that I sort of struggled with when I was first playing this was the management views. All right, so I just wanted to give my explanation of the management views, and maybe that will help you in your journey as well through this game. Hey, it's Kevin DeWitt here, and welcome to the pasthisprime YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel and you're interested in relaxed, casual gaming for an older generation, then please subscribe to my channel. Like the video and click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. So obviously over here on the side, we have, as I said, management views, this eyeball. We click on it, we get a few statistics up here, various things, nothing too over the top. And these statistics show us different values depending on what we click on. Right, so I guess first off, just as we go through this, what's the point of this view? Now, when I first started, I didn't really use this view, and it was probably the biggest flaw I had in my gameplay in this one, because this view here is going to give you all the indications you need to create a successful park and to get you to a position where you're getting a good island rating. Now, we'll go through the island rating in another video, but they are going to be key. You're going to need to use this to get a good island rating and a successful park. And obviously, a successful park is the key to getting a good island rating. So hand in hand. Now, we don't always need to cater for all of these items here, but it is a good approach to try and cover all of these, right? So obviously we can start here and we can go on this first one here, which is power. Okay, so it shows us our total power that we are generating. So this is obviously based on our power stations here. Like I've got multiple power stations, so it's obviously combining them all together. It's showing how much is used, how much is available, and I guess what is still required. So I guess if I overloaded this, we may find that will increase. It tells us how many power stations we've got and how many substations. So substations are these little ones here that we have to scatter around everywhere to create circles. So the items that I'm most interested in usually is, obviously that can be handy, but I'm usually looking for these highlighted circles. So when I click on this, I can quickly scroll around my map to see where power is available. Now, this power circles is based on these substations. So I've got large substations here, so they're providing a big circle of power. So if you ever build something and you find that it's saying there's no power, for instance, over here, this could have, in theory, said there's no power because there's no circle of power here. Now, a little bit different with this one because it's actually getting its power from the electric fence here, which is covered by this power here. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy when it comes to some of the items. But you can see here the highlighted ones are all power items, right? They're all things generating power or providing power. And the circle, obviously, as I said, is the coverage area of what you could build in there and instantly power would be available. So if you build things in these spots here, where my mouse is, where there's no circle of power, you're going to get a symbol that says no power, and you're going to have to build a substation. Right, so electricity, obviously, we don't need to cover every inch, but we need to make sure that we have electricity where we need it. Storm coverage, all right? So this is our storm protection. So low storm protection, high storm protection. We have, at the moment, I have two spots here. If we just look over the whole map, I haven't bothered to put any storm protection because this location doesn't seem to have any issue with storms. So my understanding of this is a storm protection unit that's a low storm protection unit. Now you can build high ones, so an advanced one. So if I was to say, let's just say for instance, I was to build that there. We have to wait for it to be built. And we'll put a path in because otherwise it's going to complain. And we'll just wait for this to be built. But again, you see that you have this colored circle. It's showing the coverage of this low storm protection. So this is one of the items that's not necessarily critical to your success. And here we have another one here. So that's the light blue for high storm protection. That's low storm protection. And it's showing the coverage. Now you can see the coverage of the low is a lot bigger than the high. So this gives a greater protection, but only in a very small spot. Now, this is not a critical item for park success, but obviously if you've got an island that's got a lot of storms, having these covering all of your elements will give you better protection so that you don't have to fix things so often. And it doesn't protect you against cyclones or anything like that. It's just normal sort of weather. And next item is our shelter coverage. So this is obviously, this can be a little bit critical to providing safety for our guests. So if we have major storms, we can open up or close our shelters so that the people can run in there and hide from the storms. Plus, if we have dinosaurs that are broken free and they're going to kill people, again, we can put them in there. So this one here just shows us our coverage of those storm shelters. So you can see here all the blue ones are included in the circle of coverage from the shelter. Right, and I've got multiple shelters, but you can see all the red items here. These have no storm shelter coverage. So anybody that's, I guess, over in these sections here will not get to storm shelters. Well, I keep saying storm shelters, emergency shelters. They will not get to emergency shelters. So if a dinosaur breaks out over here, anybody that's in this area here is probably susceptible to being in danger. Same as all over here and everywhere else. So if we want good coverage, we need to make sure that we have all of these covered with these circles. The next one is our dinosaur viewability. So if you've ever looked at the island rating, you will see something like, no, it's in facility, sorry. In facility rating, you'll see dinosaur visibility. This goes hand in hand with this one. So we click on the little binoculars and we can see our coverage of where dinosaurs can be visible from. So you can even see it includes the monorail. So we've got a circle here that's moving with the monorail, blah, blah, blah. And same thing applies with the gyrospheres. You will see them move. You'll see this circle is slowly moving. That is the gyrosphere moving. But I also have these visibility paths as well. So if you want to get good coverage of your dinosaur visibility, you just need to make sure you got enough of these around, that these circles are covering pretty much every inch or a lot of the park. You'll see that there's lots of spots here that aren't covered, but we've got a fairly good coverage. And you can obviously see the rating there. It says dinosaur visibility 96%, and that's because we've got these little spots. Right, our next one is our traction finances. Okay, it's going to show us anything in the red is a loss. So you can see here, if something is making us money, we've got a little bit of, you know, well, that's sort of a yellow color. We could get better colors because this is a sandbox and I've got unlimited cash. I haven't really focused on actually having to make money. Obviously, anything red is costing us money. Okay, you can see there when we hover over it, we are negative there. So you can see our income, you can see our upkeep, how much it's costing to run things, and what our total profit is. Obviously, we would like this to be a positive number, not negative. But as I said, this is sandbox. I have unlimited cash, so I haven't really cared about doing that. But in a real park, in a real challenge or campaign, I would make sure that all of these were profitable. All right, next we have our food rating. So we can see where our guests are happy or hungry or whatever else. So to get a great park, we want every one of these buildings here that a guest utilizes to be blue. That would be optimal. Sometimes you will get them yellow, which is okay. Red means that that's not good, right? There's nowhere in reach for these guests that occupy these areas to get any food. So that's not great. You're not going to get a good rating if you continue down that path. Same applies to drinks, okay? You're going to find drinks as well. Same deal. We want all these to be blue, not red, right? So if we've got red, we know that we need to target over here for some drink. And again, we're getting a percentage here of our rating, so 82%, because we've got all of this red. We've dropped our value there. And drink rating, again, 81%. And then we have shopping. Okay, so various shops. Not only do we have shops that cater for food and drink, we also have shops that cater for shopping, like a clothes shop, toy shop, that sort of thing. And again, we want to look for blue. So you'll see here we've got yellow. So these are okay, but they could be better, right? We could increase our shopping capacity in this area here to get a little bit more coverage there, I guess. All right, so with these ones, it's not about a circle. It's more about having something in a vicinity, but also catering for the amount of guests. So if there's lots of guests and your restaurant or whatever is full, then this will start dropping down because no more guests can get into your restaurant. Now, the next one is entertainment or fun. I think of it as fun, right? So again, we've got a percentage. And again, we've got shops like the toy shop or bowling alleys or things like that that's going to provide fun. So there's various things that provide fun. And again, we just want to make sure that we've got it covered. So this view is showing us. So a recent addition to the demands is restrooms or toilets, depending on what you want to call it. And again, we want to have blue coverage, right? So if we've got blue coverage, that means that everything that people need to go to the toilet, and you'll see some of these buildings don't have it because these are staff buildings, right? We're catering for guests only, and these are guest facilities. The rides, the viewing points, the hotels, all of that are guest facilities, and we need to be able to provide restrooms to them. So we're going to put restrooms in a location close to something and make sure there's enough capacity for it. Now you'll see over here we've got red. That means we do not have restrooms in any vicinity to cover these. So these people are busting to go to the toilet. And our last one is our transport, which so far in this game only is one thing, and that is purely monorails. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to have a monorail. It just means that the greater the distance or size of your park, the more chance that they will want a monorail. If you have a very small park that's only this big, right? Just this little section here. You'll be fine with the guests. They won't complain about transport because it's in a size that they deem to be just walkable. And what they're referring to is distance or travel from, I think it's from the entrance point, but it could also be from their location. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure I read that it was from the entrance point. So if you have a really big park like I've got here, then I just ran a monorail all the way around the outside and had various stations in various spots here to make sure that there's enough transport. So if I was looking at this park and all of this was blue, but over here was red, that would mean to me that I need to build a monorail and a stop over here. Now, I've obviously already done that, so that means that it's all good and covered. But these would be red if this monorail was not here because it is a long way away from the entrance. And that's pretty much all you need to know about that menu. Now, as I said, this menu is a critical item, so definitely get used to looking at it because it's going to help you efficiently build your park and get a good working park with a great island rating. So hopefully that has cleared that section up, and we'll run through a couple other key features that I struggled with in some future videos. So check those out as well. Alright, well hopefully that was enjoyable. Please remember, if you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel, click the like button, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. Go and check out some of my other videos here that are linked on the side. And I thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.